Hi, in today's video we're going to look at the use cases of the JavaScript. In the last video we looked at what is JavaScript and how we can use it. There was just a brief introduction to the JavaScript, and in this video we're actually going to dig into the code to see how we can utilize the JavaScript to interact with the HTML. So let's get started. So what we're going to make is a simple web page with a background and a button in the center. When we click on this button, it's gonna change the color of the background to some random color. So now we're gonna code it, and let's see how we can do it. So here I'm in VS Code, and I'm gonna create an index.html file. We'll press the short key to get the boilerplate from me, and we'll give it a random title, use case for JS, and inside the body I'm going to create one div, and we'll name it, we'll give it a class name of container, and inside the container I'm going to be creating a button, which is actually going to be a div, but I will style it later on to make it look like a button. And then I'm going to create one more file, style.css, to put some styles in there. So in here I have two elements to style. First one is the container, and so I'm going to give it the width of 100 VW, which is going to be the viewport width. Like when you open up your browser, it's going to cover the entire width of your viewport. And then I'm gonna give it the height. It's gonna be VH, it's the viewport height. And then I'm gonna give it the background color property. I'm gonna change the background color property to black, or maybe we can do it like hex code, which is gonna be 0000 6 times. 6 times is equal to the black color. So we can do it like this, or we can write the black over here, but I'm going to use this one because we are also going to be using this notation in the JavaScript as well. So this is it for the container part, and then we can save it, and let's rerun it. But one more thing I've done here is to link the style.css with the inside of our HTML, so that we can access those styles and we can apply them onto our elements with the classes or with the IDs or whatever way we're trying to reference them. So that's it. Let's open it up on. So I just posted it. So let's open it up again in the browser. We can see that the background is fully black now. So let's go into the code, and now this time we are going to you can see that it's totally black, and the click me is not visible because the color by default is black. So we need to change the properties for the CSS properties for this this button so that we can see it, and also we can modify it a bit so that it looks better. So one thing we are going to do is position it fixed. This position is going to be fixed, and from the top is going to be 50%, so that it's like from the top, from the vertical, in the vertical dimensions it's going to be 50% from the top, and from the left side it's going to be also 50%, so that we can align it in the center from on the horizontal axis. And then what we're going to do is to make its color white so that we can see it, and then let's have a look at it. So now we can see that it's exactly in the center, and not exactly. We can exactly make it in the center, but that's okay for now. From the top, it's actually, from the top is 50%, and from the right side it's actually 50%. And the width of the text is actually shifted toward the right side, so that so if the text is bigger, it's gonna be like gonna be written over here, and it's gonna start actually from this position. So now what we're going to do is we're actually going to give it one more property, background black, so that we can see it that it's actually black. And also the padding is going to be 5 pixel. That's it for the CSS, and now move on to the JavaScript part. For the JavaScript, we're going to add one more file to it. which is going to be JS main.js file. I am going to name it main.js, but you can name it anything you want. And then I'm going to mention this this JS file inside our script. Sorry, if I'm going to type in the script tag, the source main.js, and after we mention it, we're actually going to we can start writing our JavaScript code inside there. So we can do like main.js connected with HTML. And now we can inspect it in the browser, and we can see the main.js is connected with HTML. We can see the text in there. So what console log does is it logs something which is inside the console logs bracket, and then in the code is going to console. It's going to print it in the console of the browser, so that we can see it. We can notice that our HTML, our JavaScript is connected with the HTML. So what next we are going to do is we are going to add an on-click method for our button. Like it's going to be change BG, and then we are going to define that change BG inside our JavaScript code, inside our JavaScript file. So let's just do that. So once we click on the change BG, what we're going to do is we are going to randomly change the background color. Like we were going to change the background to a random color. So let's create a variable for that, a random color, and math.random. Actually, math.random is going to give us the number between 0 to 1, but we don't actually need the 0 and 1. We actually need something like a 6-digit string and the hashtag, like something like that. We need something like this with the hash, and then a six strings, like 6 digits or maybe 6 characters. We need something like in hex. We need a hex code after this hash. So what we're going to do is I've already written a function for that, so that I don't have to rewrite it, and I'm gonna replace it right over here, and then I will go over it. So math.floor, math.random, and then I'm gonna multiply that like 0 to 1, because the math.random is gonna give us a number between 0 to 1, and then I'm gonna multiply it with another number so that I can make it bigger, and then I'm going to convert it to a string and to 16 bits, like the hexadecimal. It's gonna convert it into the string, but if the string which we're going to get is in base 16, so that we can use it in the color which we have to use in the CSS. So this is what we're gonna get from here, and then so this is the random color hex. We got the hex for the random color, and then we have to actually get this container, like main container. Once we click on this button, we have to change the style of this element. So I've also given it the ID of container1, so we have to capture it inside our JS. Let container element is equal to document dot get element by ID and container. And what we're going to do inside of the function is that container element dot style dot background color is equal to hashtag, and then plus this random color. So this hashtag is going to be like representing the structure of the hex number, and then the random color is going to be placed after this hash is going to be added in, and it's going to make a complete hex color notation, which is going to be put into the background. So let's just save it, and also save the index.html file, and let's see if we can see it in the browser. Let's close it out, and here we go. We're changing the colors in the background. I hope you enjoy the video, and that's it for today. We'll be making more videos in the JavaScript, and until then, you can enjoy changing your colors in the background. Have a good day. Bye bye.